Hello, friends and blissful warriors and yogis and anyone who's joining me today. Welcome to our midday session, our yoga session called the Blissful Warrior. And I'm Rhonda Uretsky. I'm the owner of River Flow Yoga. We are actually a hot yoga studio located in Lambertville, New Jersey. We are just starting to open our doors, having been closed since March. We are inviting people to come and join us for hot yoga one-to-one, one teacher to one student. This is actually the traditional way that yoga was passed down from guru to student, and it seems very fitting that in these modern times, it's being called for once again. We are very, very aware of the safety that we want to create in our studio. You know, we've always really been a place where we want people to feel safe and to feel comfortable and to find their way to a soothing within themselves. And so practicing and teaching one-to-one, especially at this time right now with what we are dealing with in terms of the pandemic, seems to be the perfect fit. So if you like that idea of you and a teacher, one-to-one guru hot yoga practice, feel free to contact me and we'll see what we can schedule for you. And if you like the idea of being in this format where we have one teacher teaching to as many students as show up, in a way this is one-to-one as well. You're in your space, I'm in my space, and yet we're very much connected here. This practice is not hot yoga. This is called Blissful Warrior Yoga. So having been a yoga teacher and a yoga practitioner myself for the past 45 years and been engaged in many, many different kinds of yoga practices, including meditation and mindfulness, and really learning from beautiful variety of teachers, I've curated a practice that I think is one that will not only enhance your physical vitality and well-being, but also your emotional clarity and your mental stability, right? Your sense of feeling like yourself. And that's what it means to be a blissful warrior. In my language, I made up the term blissful warrior, and I mean for you to be a warrior, but not in the way that we usually think of it. Not in terms of pushing or forcing or struggling or making a great effort, but actually to be adamant about your desire to feel better, to soothe yourself in this moment and in every moment, and maybe not to reach the state of bliss, and certainly not to expect yourself to go from being in a lower state, let's say, lower vibrational state of depression. And I don't mean lower to mean that it's lesser in any way. You are allowed to feel whatever you feel in every moment. But to be able to jump instantly from depression to bliss might be a bit of a high expectation. And I don't want you to feel disappointment in yourself. I want you to feel accepting of wherever you are in this moment, and then the amazing ability that you have to soothe yourself into feeling a little bit better. Let's face it, we all want to feel a little bit better. And from that state of feeling better, it's a very productive place to be. So this isn't necessarily about separating yourself from your current conditions, although that will help temporarily. It's not about hiding your head in the sand over current conditions, although that too might help temporarily. Distracting yourself might just give you that breathing space that you need. But this is about noticing how much more productive you feel, how much more effective you can be when you take action from a place of being soothed. We all know that if you're angry or upset or frustrated and then you move into an action, usually you regret it. Not because it's bad or wrong, but because it's really not the action that feels like you. And it's not the action that makes you feel good about yourself. And most of the time, the results that you get from going forward when you're in a state of agitation are not the best results. Best being the ones that you would hope to get. And yet, if you can take this moment to soothe yourself back into a place of feeling like yourself before you take any action, no matter what the deadline might be, this simple act of soothing yourself, of coming home to yourself, feeling grounded in yourself, will inform your actions in a way that all the planning in the world, all the figuring out, couldn't do as well. And so that's what we are practicing here. As blissful warriors, we know, all of us know, that the conditions we're facing these days are perhaps more heightened, more dire, more upsetting, and potentially frustrating and agitating than conditions that we might have faced at any other time in our lives. We're all very diverse. We come from very different places and different backgrounds. We've had different experiences. But a great majority of us are feeling like the conditions that we're in right now are the most dramatic and traumatic that we've ever faced. So is it possible to soothe yourself under these dire conditions, to expect yourself to be able to come back to this place of feeling like yourself despite the conditions around you? And can you afford to take the time to bring yourself here before you take any action, no matter how urgent the action might seem? Well, I would suggest that you really can't afford not to. Taking action from that place of being agitated or frustrated or angry or upset will more than likely cause you to do things that you will have to undo at some point later or sooner. And think of the extra work involved in that, when it can not only make you more effective to come from this place of feeling like yourself, it can actually make your life feel happier. So let's experience it for ourselves. First practice in the Blissful Warrior is to arrive here. Settle yourself into a soothing position. I'm sitting here cross-legged on the floor, sitting on a cushion. That's my preferred position. That's where my body feels the most soothed. But I want to invite you to find a position that feels like soothing to you. I can offer you all sorts of tips on ways to hold your body and move your body, and I will. And yet, it really is up to you to try these little tips and try them on, right? You're trying them on for your own fit and see what actually makes you feel a little bit better in this moment. So sitting on the floor cross-legged, I always advise to grab a cushion and place it under your butt. Come to the front edge of that cushion, kind of scoot yourself forward. Let your hips and your knees just be kind of dragged down a little bit. Even as I say it and I do it, I can feel that relief in my hips and my knees. And this is a place where a lot of people, maybe you, carry tension. And you can tell by the pain or the ache or the twinge that you feel in your knees or hips. Let's give that a chance to settle. Maybe you'd prefer to sit in a chair. You can sit back, feel if you'd rather sit back and feel your back against the back of the chair. Maybe you'd like to sit forward. Either way, if you place your soles on the ground, soles of your feet, and maybe palms on your thighs, you're getting a calming for your nervous system. This is your nervous system when it's agitated, when you have come up against some morning activation. You've had some interaction with somebody, or you've received an email, or you've read the news, and your nervous system starts shaking up. Oh, see, this is a relatively calm nervous system, but yep, there it goes. That's what's going on inside of you when your nervous system is in a state of agitation, chaos. But if you place both feet on the ground, both palms, if you settle some part of your body on the ground, then you really get the benefit of having this nervous system settle. Just like this glitter wand is settling, your nervous system will stop firing and start to settle if you can find a part of your body to place on the ground. So easy when you're sitting in a chair, you can just place both soles on the ground. And though palms on your thighs isn't exactly on the ground, it still has that nice calming effect. Maybe you'd like to lie down as you come to this practice. That's okay. Go ahead. Try it out. Lie on your back. Just keep your eyes open so that you're present here. Your arms can be far from your body. Let your palms face up. When you're lying on the ground, on your back, with your palms facing up, try to imagine that you have these little round balls of, let's say, warm light in the centers of your palms. And take a moment to think about the shape, the weight of these balls in your palms, these balls of light, the color. Maybe they have a texture. Maybe they have a scent. So here you are using all of your senses to bring your mind into one focused moment. this is a practice of mindfulness. And mindfulness can be a tremendous tool for helping you to feel like yourself again. If you're lying on the ground, I recommend legs straight out, heels touching and toes flopped apart, so that you get the same sense of relaxation in your knees and in your hips that I talked about when you're sitting on a cushion. Okay, so choose an arrival practice, a place where your body feels settled. Let's drink a little water before we move into breathing. I love to remind people about drinking water. It's an easy practice, it's a soothing practice, and it's very available. So go ahead, take some sips. Okay, so now we're going to move into breathing. Breathing is another extremely available practice that you can deliberately focus on and notice how it really changes the way you feel in this moment. Right? This is what we're working with, the present moment. You can't change yourself in the past or in the future, but in the present moment you have 100% control over how you choose to feel, and breathing can help connect you with that sense of control. So as we begin this practice, just take a moment to check in with yourself and notice how you feel. On a scale of 1 to 10, let's say 1 is very calm and 10 is very agitated, very upset, angry, frustrated. Where are you right now? 3 came to mind for me. I didn't have a particularly activated morning, and you don't ever need to explain why you feel what you feel. Sometimes the explaining of it just digs you in deeper. Just let whatever comes to your mind, just let it arise. So 3. All right, settle your body, either in the chair, on the floor sitting, on the floor lying down, and let's move into some nice, deep breathing. So we will be doing a practice called Ujjayi breathing, where you hear the sound in the base of your throat. You're inhaling and exhaling through the nose, but you hear this loud ha sound in the base of your throat. And we're going to combine that with 3-part breathing. Don't worry too much about knowing how to do this. I'm going to give you very clear instructions, and you're simply going to follow along to the best of your ability. Now, I promise you this. There's no wrong way to do this. So don't worry about whether you're doing it right or doing it perfectly or if you're getting it. You're here, you're breathing, you got it. Okay. So again, settling into your body, maybe leaning back feels right, maybe leaning forward feels right. Place your hands. Today I have my hands in my lap, palms facing up. Left palm is under and right palm is on top. My thumbs are touching. And I'm relaying this to you just to describe it, not to tell you it's the right way for you to do things. And let's move into our breathing right now. Focus your eyes, drop your chin, settle your head back on your neck. Feels like a strange sort of direction, but most of us do this kind of thing, right? And that creates some tension and stress and pain in the neck, literally. So go ahead and settle your head back onto the top of your neck, and let's begin. Inhale, nice deep breath in through your nose, but remember, hear it in the sound in the back of your throat. As you inhale, pull your collarbones wide apart. Can you feel that opening in your chest, that stretching, that sort of proud, confident feeling? Let your rib cage open, let your belly balloon out, holding yourself here, and exhale. Again, hearing that loud ha sound, keep your collarbones pulling side to side. Let your ribs sort of deflate and move in towards the center of your body. Drop your belly by letting it deflate. Then drop your tailbone and tuck your tailbone slightly up towards your navel. So get that little lift at the end. Inhale. Collarbones wide. Feels like you got one long collarbone that's being pulled from side to side. Your chest feels so beautifully open. Your rib cage feels like it's expanding. Your belly is ballooned way out. Exhale. Hearing that ha sound pass through the back of your throat, let your rib cage come in a little bit, as if someone has placed their hands on the sides of your ribs and they're pressing inward. Feel that soothing pressure. Deflate your belly, drop your tailbone, and then tuck your tailbone a little towards the navel. And if you're sitting in a chair or sitting on the ground, that last little tuck will almost make you feel like you're hovering over the mat, over the ground. Inhale. Collarbones wide, hearing that loud ha sound in your throat like the ocean waves, expanding your ribs, ballooning your belly. Exhale. Continuing to feel your collarbones pull, your ribs drop inward, your belly deflate, your tailbone drop down, and then tuck under a little. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Feels good to stay empty for a moment, doesn't it? Inhale. Exhale. And now just settling in at the place that you are right now, noticing if you feel a difference from when you first started. What number might you give yourself on this emotional activation scale? 1 being very calm, clear in your mind. 10 being very agitated, upset, angry, frustrated. I feel like I've dropped to a 2. Again, there are no wrong answers here. Whatever number you are, you own it. That's where you are. There's no need to wish you were elsewhere. You are in the perfect starting place for this blissful warrior practice. And my friends, you're here. You have committed to yourself. You've committed to this soothing that you will so benefit from, as will everybody else that comes into your path today. It's nice to sit here and regain your sense of control and not have to force it, not have to push at it, not have to make a great effort for it. Simply reminding yourself to do it and having somebody who will walk you through it, who will be here with you, breathing and soothing into your better feeling day. Okay, so let's move into some yoga poses. You know, I always ask the question, what would it feel like to take this soothed person into an action journey, out into the world? Well, we're still here in the yoga room, so you're not out in the world, but you are now coming from the inside, from this interior practice of breathing into an exterior practice of moving your body. And can you maintain this soothed feeling as you move into a physical practice? Yes, and we're going to do it right now. And of course, the most important thing is that you get to see how it feels. Get to try this on and notice if it feels more like a pleasurable place to be able to live your life from, a place that's more clear for the decision making that you're facing in the rest of your day, maybe the rest of your life. So let's come to a lying down. Going to make a slight adjustment to my camera so you can see where my yoga mat is. And if you have a yoga mat, great. And if you don't, no worries. Ease yourself down nice and gentle. Lying on your back. Your arms are at your sides, and you're going to allow your arms to slide far away from your body. Let's see. We'll do a little adjustment here. Notice, it's interesting as I readjust my yoga mat. I'm recalibrating for the current conditions, wanting you to be able to see these poses fully. And that's what you're doing here in this practice. You are recalibrating yourself to the current conditions of your life, to be able to move into those conditions with a sense of grounded grace, something inside of you that you can carry into these conditions and still be yourself, your best self. So lying down. Arms far from your body, palms facing up. Allow your heels to touch and your toes to flop apart. Pull your collarbones wide. Notice the difference that happens, the difference in how you feel when you feel both shoulder blades on the mat. Your chin is tucked so your eyes are looking down the middle of your body, not at the ceiling. Notice that little release in your neck. Feel those little balls of light in your palms. Notice the weight of them, the warmth, the texture. Maybe they even have a color. Inhale, balloon your belly out. Feel your ribs expand. Pull your collarbones wide. Keep your chin tucked. Eyes open. Exhale. Keeping your collarbones wide, letting your ribs come together, deflating your belly, and then drop your lower back into an imaginary hand waiting to hold you. Inhale. Collarbones wide. Tuck your chin. Relax your hands and feet. Exhale. Deflate your belly. Feel your ribs come inward. Drop your lower back into that imaginary hand, still right there, waiting to support you. Beautiful. Again, increasing this sense of being present and feeling grounded, feeling clear. Now maybe your mind is still racing. That's all right. You just get to notice it. Right? You don't get to do anything that makes you feel wrong or bad. You're just noticing. This is where you're starting from. Okay, so let's move into some poses now. Some movement of the body coordinating with breathing. As you inhale, bend your knees and place the soles of your feet on the ground and let your feet be about 6 inches apart. Heels are directly behind your butt, toes facing front. If you inch your heels in a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, with every tiny little step, you can feel some stretching happening in your back. And how does that stretching feel? Does it feel better or worse? Does it feel more soothing or less? Just beginning to notice the things that feel soothing to you. Turn your palms to the ground. Sliding your arms along the floor, bring them in, and then lift your hips lightly, bring your hands under your body, your palms face down, or if your heels are really close, you might reach out and grab your ankles. And squeeze your shoulder blades together. As you inhale, begin to tighten your thighs, tuck your chin, and begin pointing your knees directly forward. And notice how this lifts your hips off the mat in a really light feeling kind of way. Tucking your chin, squeezing your shoulder blades together. And then as you exhale, slowly begin to lower down by relaxing your thighs, bringing your knees back to center, and lowering down one vertebra at a time. Inhale. Begin to tighten your quads. Pull forward from your knees. Keep your feet directly parallel as you slowly feel your hips sort of getting lifted off the ground. Keep looking down your body. Maybe you can still see the tops of your thighs. So we're not going to hyperextend the hips. Just into that floating feeling, right? Let it stop where you can feel that your hips are very light and floating. And then exhale and slowly lowering down one vertebra at a time. Tailbone last. One more time. Inhale. Tighten your thighs. Begin to point your knees forward. Lifting the hips, or letting the hips be lifted. Right? Just be present and see what happens when you point your knees and tighten your thighs. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, tucking your chin. And then exhale and slowly beginning to bring the knees pointing back towards the ceiling, lowering one vertebra at a time, really being present and mindful of every vertebra touching down. And then when you're all the way down, relax your arms, bring them out from under you, palms facing up, slide your legs out. Take a moment here in Shavasana, heels touching, toes flopped apart, collarbones wide, chin down. Inhale, balloon your belly out. Keep the collarbones pulling so you feel your shoulder blades on the mat. Exhale, keeping the collarbones wide, letting the ribs come together, deflate the belly, and drop your lower back. Then move into a pose called Pavanamuktasana, wind removing pose. Great pose for the hips, for the ascending and descending colon. Really a nice thing to do in the middle of your day to loosen the hips and massage the digestive system. So bend your right knee, placing the sole of the right foot on the ground. Bring your arms in close to your body and begin to pull with all 10 fingertips, right? What would it feel like if you wanted to touch that wall in front of you? Bend the knee to the chest, bend your elbow tips and clasp all 10 fingers, including your thumbs, 2 inches below the right knee. Relax your outstretched left leg. Inhale, bring your elbows in your waist. Really nestle them in as you tuck your chin, and as you exhale, guide your right knee to the right armpit. Now, the knee doesn't have to go into the armpit, it doesn't have to touch down. But you're guiding it there. And you're going to feel a little pinch happening deep in the right hip and a beautiful sense of stretch in the left hip. Relax the left leg. And in this way, you are activating both hips. The right hip gets that little pinch, closing off the blood supply. So when this pose releases, there's a big momentum of blood flow through that right hip, giving you a really nice healing in the hip. At the same time, you're massaging your ascending colon as you get the right thigh to lie down alongside the right rib cage. It's a beautiful pose. You can even feel the stretching in your back as you tuck your chin, the opening of the neck bones. And then change. Lower the right leg down, sole of the foot, leg out, heels touch, arms at your sides, palms up. Feel the sensation in your arms. Can you feel the temperature of your arms? Are they cold? Are they warm? Inhale, bend the left leg at the knee. Sole the left foot to the ground. Slide your arms in and begin to pull again, all 10 fingertips, tucking your chin to your throat. Bend the left knee to the chest. Bend the elbow tips and clasp all 10 fingers 2 inches below the knee. Elbows nestled in the waist. Tuck your chin. Exhale, and applying some pressure from the fingertips, guide the left knee to the left armpit. Now, as you're guiding, feel the sensation, the little pinch in the left hip, cutting off the blood supply. The deep stretch in the right hip. Oh, I just felt heard a little click in my back. I always think of these little clicks as little pieces of a jigsaw puzzle getting popped back into place. That's what happens when you align things in your body. Everything comes back into place. That includes your mental clarity. So as you inhale, tuck your chin, nestle your elbows in your waist. As you exhale, again, deepening the pressure of the fingertips so that left knee comes alongside the left rib cage towards the armpit. The more you relax, the more the stretch happens for you. And you can get into a stretch deeper by struggling, but you can get it to it more deep and more pleasurably and more beneficially by relaxing. I don't know if you guys can hear all those clicks happening in my spine, but wow, it feels great. And then relax the left leg down, slide the left leg out, meeting at the heels, and just lie here for a moment. Your arms are at your sides. My arms feel really cool, kind of cold, and yet when I put them out to the sides, I can feel this rush of warmth coming from my shoulders, down my arms, and lastly into my palms and fingertips. I'm just relating what I feel. Notice what you feel. The noticing itself is your mindful practice. Trying not to evaluate if you're doing it right or wrong, knowing that noticing, bringing your attention there, is your practice of mental clarity and emotional calm. Now bring your legs together and bend both knees. Place the soles of both feet to the ground and inch your heels up, getting that beautiful sense of stretch that you feel in your spine. Natural human traction. Squeeze your legs together. Bring your arms in close and pull. Tuck your chin. Squeezing the legs into one unit. Bring the knees to the chest. Wrap your arms around your knees and grab whatever's available. Could be wrists, forearms, elbow tips, upper arms. Feet are side by side. As you inhale, tuck your chin, looking where your knees meet, maybe even where your arms cross, shoulders down and collarbones wide. And as you exhale, squeeze the legs together, draw the knees to the chest, tuck the chin towards your throat. And if you're holding at the forearms or elbows or upper arms, you can start to push your knees outward into the crooks of your elbows. Even as you're squeezing your legs together with your arms, you're pushing outward with your knees. And as you do that little extra push, can you feel your back flattening a little more? So this is a little more of that delicious traction for your spine. Inhale, tuck your chin. Squeeze your legs together. And as you exhale, draw the knees to the chest. Push the knees outward into the crooks of the elbows. And change. Relax your arms. Keep your knees just lightly bent into your chest. Feel the sensation in your arms. How would you describe the sensation in your arms right now? Mine feels like kind of a shimmering feeling, like warmth shimmering down from my shoulders into my fingertips. And inhale and turn your palms over and bring your arms under your body, hips on your wrists. Once your arms are under, relax your hands, but squeeze your shoulder blades together so you can wiggle your fingers. Your shoulder blades are squeezed nice and tight so you feel your chest slightly lifting up. Tuck your chin. As you inhale, flex your heels towards the wall in front of you. Flex your toes towards your face. Squeezing your shoulder blades, tucking your chin. And as you exhale, keep the legs squeezed into one unit. Flexing from the heels, raise the soles of your feet to the ceiling. Feels like your soles are holding the ceiling up. And maybe your legs are straight or maybe your knees are bent at that point. Doesn't matter. Rotate your knees in a little bit and keep flexing your heels towards the ceiling and the toes towards your face. Notice if you have a tendency when you're doing this to hunch your shoulders in. Go ahead and pull your collarbones wide and notice with every little movement how much stronger you feel in your own sense of confidence. Inhale, flex your heels towards the ceiling, flex the toes towards the face, and rotate the knees in. As you exhale, slowly feel as if your legs are being lowered. They're being held from the heels or held from the ankles by ropes from the ceiling, and they're being lowered slowly. And you can feel the calm and the satisfaction of this movement. As you inhale, you flex your heels forward, flex the toes towards your face, rotate your knees in, keep your collarbones wide, and as you exhale, allow the ropes to lower you down, keeping it nice and slow. Suck your stomach in, tuck your chin. Inhale, flex your heels with every inhale, flex the toes towards your face. And with every exhale, pull your collarbones wide. Just allow those ropes to lower you down. Keep your knees rotated a little inward towards each other so you feel this real nice strength and balance in your thighs. This is a beautiful pose for the blood vessels in your legs, giving them a really nice soothing rest here in the middle of the day. And then eventually, and you might be surprised at how slowly you can move, eventually your heels will touch down. And when they do, lift your hips lightly and roll your arms out again. Slide your arms far from your body. Palms up, heels touching, toes flopped apart. Tuck your chin, pull your collarbones wide. Keep your eyes open. Notice you're looking down the middle of your body and not at the ceiling. As you inhale, balloon your belly out. Feel your ribs expand. Feel your collarbones pull wide. And exhale. Collarbones stay wide. Rib cage collapsing inward. Stomach deflates. Drop your lower back into that soothing hand. And now inhale, turn your palms to the ground. And once again, bring your arms under your body, hips to wrists. Bring your legs together. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, feeling as if you'd like your shoulder blades to touch at your spine as you pull your toes forward. Can you feel your stability here? These beautiful movements that align your body, strengthening and aligning. Inhale, point your toes, rotate your knees, squeeze your shoulder blades together. And now as you exhale, slowly begin to raise your breastbone towards the ceiling. Feel the weight of your body come into your elbow tips. Maybe your head will come off the mat. Maybe it won't, but if it does, hang it back. Feel as if you'd like the back of your head to touch your spine. You're looking at the wall behind you, pointing your toes to the wall in front of you. Inhale, squeeze your shoulder blades together again. Point your toes forward, rotate your knees inward. And as you exhale, lift from your chest. Hang your head. Maybe start pulling your chin towards the wall behind you as you point your toes forward. Shoulders stay down from your ears. Inhale, point your toes. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. As you exhale, lifting your chest. Lift, lift. And then release the pose. As you inhale, slowly begin to bring your chin back to center. Slide the back of your head along the mat, lowering down. And then roll your arms out from under you as you exhale. Slide your arms far away. Heels touch, toes flopped apart, palms facing up. Notice again the sensation in your arms. Bring yourself back to noticing the temperature of your arms, the weight. Maybe you feel that shimmery quality going through your arms. It's your awareness that helps to soothe your nervous system. Inhale. Balloon your belly, widen your rib cage, pull the collarbones wide, tuck your chin, exhale. Deflate the rib cage, the belly, dropping your lower back into that soothing, supportive hand. All right, we're going to do a yoga sit-up. And if you have no back issues, you can join me in this sit-up. And if you do, then simply roll your body over to the right and bring yourself up into a seated position. Here's the sit-up. Inhale, arms overhead. Flex your heels forward. Flex the toes towards your face. Pull your fingertips towards the wall behind you. Tuck your chin. Feel yourself lifting out of your waist. Can you feel your ability to grow yourself up out of your own waist? And hold your breath, hold your length, and sit up. Reach for the ceiling. Grab for your big toes. Double jerk and double exhale through your mouth. Shh, shh. And then hang down, forehead to knees, chin to throat, elbow tips bent beside your calf muscles. And coming up and facing forward. All right, let's do some forward bends. Forward bends are beautiful poses that really help you to feel this deeper letting go. So, your right leg is out to the side 45 degrees and the sole of your left foot tucked up high against your inner right thigh. Unless this causes you any pain, then please keep your left leg out 45 degrees as well. Flex your right heel forward. Flex your right toes towards your face. Let both hips be settled to the ground as you inhale your arms overhead. Engage all 10 fingers and pull. And lift. And once again, with both hips down, can you feel yourself lifting out of your waist? Turn towards your outstretched leg. Look down your leg and make sure that your toes are pointing to the ceiling and your heel is flexing forward and your both hips are down. And as you exhale, throw this net of fingers over the ball of your right foot and drop down forehead to knee. If you need to bend your knee up to get the forehead to the knee, please do. Let your elbows start to bend. Your arms are like spaghetti arms. Your fingers are tight in that strong net on the ball of your foot, but your arms are limp at the elbows. Tuck your chin to your throat. Drop your forehead to your knee and breathe. And then release the pose. Bring the net over your head. And turn towards the center. Now we're going to alternate the legs using the abdominal wall. So keeping your arms out of it, just switch the legs. Left leg out, sole of the right foot in. Once again, unless this bent right knee causes you any pain, then please keep that right leg out to the side as well. As you inhale, lift up. Take a moment here to lean back a little and get both hips grounded and to feel yourself growing your waist, lengthening and lifting your spine. Turn your torso towards your outstretched left leg where you can look down and see your heel flexed and your toes flexing towards your face. And as you exhale, throw this net of fingers over the ball of the left foot and drop down again, forehead to knee. Bend up the left knee if you need to get the forehead to touch. Chin tucked to your throat. Elbows bent. Fingers clasped tightly. Inhale. And exhale. And release the pose. Coming up. Stretch up, turn towards the center, and let's bring both legs out in front of you. Flex your heels, flex the toes towards your face as you inhale, lift up, stretch up, lengthen up, all the way up. And as you exhale, separate your hands and bring yourself forward. And let your first two fingers hook between your first two toes. Keep your eyes focused on the wall in front of you, shoulders down, and walk your hips backwards. Maybe about 10 times or so. You want to come all the way to the back of your mat if you have one. If you don't, just feel yourself coming further back. And As you inhale, holding those big toes with your first two fingers, lift your chest, suck your stomach in, pull your collarbones wide and drop your chin a little. And as you exhale, flatten the backs of your knees to the mat by pulling your heels forward and rounding your toes towards your face. Now, if your knees are still bent, that's fine. Every time you exhale, you'll suggest it to yourself in your mind. Relax my knees. Relax my knees. Eventually, they'll go straight. Not important, though. When they do, there's a next step. As you inhale, lift your chest, collarbones wide, chin down, suck your stomach in. As you exhale, flex your heels forward, round your pinky toes towards your face. And then if your legs are straight, you'll know it because your heels are hovering a little off the mat. Bend your elbows and pull your chest forward between your shoulders. Let your elbow tips bend to the ground, touching the ground beside your calf muscles. Inhale, lift your chest, suck your stomach in. Exhale, flatten the backs of your knees. And if you're already down here, lift your thumbs and bring your forehead to your thumbs. There's no better or worse place to be in any of these poses. There's only more soothing or less soothing. So you find your place of soothing. That is your place of biggest benefit, both physical and emotional. And then change. Coming up, slide your palms onto your shins and sit up straight by flexing your heels forward, toes towards your face. Now, sometimes the flexing of the heels can be a little painful if you have hamstrings that are aching, so you can bend your knees a little bit. We're always looking for the place of soothing within each pose. Flex your heels, rotate your knees, lock your elbows, collarbones wide, chin dropped, eyes focused. Bring your head backwards a little bit. Place it on your neck. Sounds odd, but when you begin to realize that you're thrusting your chin forward, you'll feel much more soothed when the head is on the neck. Inhale. Exhale. All of this stretching and movement of the spine and realignment of the body is so calming to your nervous system, so clarifying for your mental health, and so energizing for your physical body. You can't lose with this practice. Let's end with Ardha Matsyendrasana, half spinal twist. So facing forward and bend your left knee so the left knee points forward. Now always being real careful with those knees. If this kind of bending causes you pain, you can always keep your legs stretched straight out. There's no benefit in pain, my friends. Right leg up and over, the right heel against the left knee corner. Now take a moment to make sure both hips are down. See, I have to move my heel out from under my right hip so that I can really place it on the ground. And as you do so, you're going to be inspired to sit up straight and to feel your stability right here. Bring your right arm behind you. It's against your spine or a little further back, like a kickstand, but it's locked. Left arm by your ear and stretch up out of your waist. Now both arms are locked, one on the floor and one lifting towards the ceiling, and your hips are down. Then bend this left elbow, come down around the knee, push the knee away and reach down and hold. Here's where it comes in handy to have a yoga mat. Hold the top edge. If you don't have a yoga mat, place your fingertips on the ground so your arm locks. And maybe you can even slip your hand under your bent knee as long as the arm stays locked and the knee stays down. Inhale, lift your chest. Drop your chin, suck your stomach in and pull your collarbones wide. Can you feel that right shoulder coming behind you? As you exhale, twist and look over your right shoulder. Keep your eyes moving as you feel your waist twisting, your ribs, your shoulders. Keep both elbows locked. Your gaze keeps moving behind you, looking for the very next thing as you twist, twist, twist. And then release the pose back to center. And we will alternate. So bend the right leg, the knee points forward again. If you feel any pain, now there's a difference between noticing a sensation and feeling pain. You'll know pain immediately. And if you feel pain, this is where your leg belongs. Left leg up and over so the heel is against the knee corner. And pulling the heel out, whatever you need to do, wiggling around a little, ground your hips. Left arm behind you flat, right arm by your ear, lift. Keep your arm close to your head so you can really lift up out of your waist and both hips stay down as you lift. Feel this empowerment and lift. And then bend your elbow, come down around the knee and push the knee away and reach down and grab that top edge of your yoga mat, or place your fingertips or slip your hand. As you inhale more, pull your collarbones wide, lock both arms, drop your chin as you exhale, look over your left shoulder and twist. Move your waist, twist. Move your ribs, twist. Pull your collarbones wide, drop your chin, look over your left shoulder and twist, twist, twist. And then release back to center. Bring both legs out in front of you. Flex your heels towards the front wall, toes towards your face. Place your palms on your shins. Lock your elbows, lock your arms, drop your chin. Inhale. And as you exhale, begin to lean backwards into your hips. Keep your chin dropped and your collarbones wide as you slide your palms over your knees. Keep flexing your heels as you slide your palms over your thighs. Lower yourself down one vertebra at a time. You keep going. You're going to come to sitting, but you're going to be lying down for final Shavasana. Lying on your back, arms at your sides, palms facing up. Allow your heels to touch and your toes to flop apart, collarbones nice and wide. Tuck your chin, look down the middle of your body, shift your gaze from the ceiling to down the middle of your body, and you're going to feel something very soothing happening in your neck, right where you need the soothing, your neck and your shoulders. Palms are out, up, arms are far from your body. And now let's end with 3 deep breaths. And there's a beautiful practice in the 3 breaths that I learned from a wonderful teacher, Mary Cordelia. I'm going to share it with you here. So as you inhale, collarbones wide, balloon your belly out, hear the sound in the back of your throat. Now exhale and deflate the belly, hear the sound in the back of the throat, drop your lower back, and with this first breath, I return to myself. Especially as you're dropping your lower back, say this in your mind. I return to myself. Second breath, inhale, collarbones wide, chin down. Let your belly inflate, your ribs expand. Feel the breath coming in through your throat, making that ha sound. And as you exhale, still keep the collarbones wide. Let your rib cage come in towards the center line of your body. Deflate the belly balloon. Drop your lower back. And say to yourself, with the second breath, I connect to the world. Staying empty. Staying empty. And then one more breath. Inhale, collarbones wide, chin down. Ribs expand, balloon the belly out. And as you exhale, keep the collarbones wide, chin down. Let the ribs come together, deflate the belly, drop your lower back into that supportive hand, and saying to yourself, I maintain my connection to myself and to the world around me. And now breathe normally. Close your eyes for a moment and just notice how you feel. Bring your awareness to how you feel. Let's go back to that scale of 1 to 10, 1 being very, very chill, and 10 being very agitated. What number comes to mind for you right now? Notice if the number has changed since we started this practice 1 hour ago. Notice if it hasn't. No judgments. Your awareness is the point. I definitely feel like I'm down at a 2, maybe even a 1. Sharing this practice with whoever shows up for it today always feels soothing to me. It's soothing for me to do the practice myself, and very soothing for me to be talking you through it as well. Thank you for joining me today in this Blissful Warrior yoga mindfulness practice, this practice of grounding and calming and centering yourself. Yes, you will get physical benefits from this practice. You're going to find that your breathing makes so many of the systems of your body function better. Digestive system, circulatory system. You might find that your sleeping becomes easier and your waking becomes less stressful. You'll find your mental clarity and you'll find your emotional stability. And best of all, you'll find your sense of empowerment, knowing that you can return to this practice again and again. And I recommend that you do so many times during the day so that you can be in charge of the person that goes forward into the world. And more importantly, you can enjoy the life that you're here to live, despite the challenges of the many conditions outside of you. You might not be in control of those conditions, but you as a blissful warrior can regain complete control of these conditions, the ones that you live with all the time. And I invite you to find the soothing and to find the empowerment in that soothing. I'm Rhonda Uretsky from Riverflow Yoga. I will be here sharing this practice virtually. We've been doing so since March. We will continue for a little while longer. You'll find me here doing Blissful Warrior. You'll find the other teachers of Riverflow Yoga here offering you hot yoga. If you can get a space heater and a little bit of private space in your own home, we can guide you through the steps of hot yoga and Yoga Nidra, a practice for restful sleep. We're sharing all of this with you virtually. We hope that you find some strength, some soothing, some self-control and self-empowerment in these practices, as many of us as the teachers of Riverflow Yoga have throughout our years of practice. Come back and join us soon. If you'd like more information about being one-on-one with us at our studio in Lambertville, having us focus our attention directly on your particular needs, feel free to private message me here or go to our website at riverflow-yoga.com and send me a contact, and I will get back to you soon. Go out into the rest of your day and let this soothing resonate for you. Feel safe, feel certain, feel secure, and feel like yourself, maybe for the first time in quite a while. Enjoy, my friends. See you soon.